Hey guys, August 9th, 2022, a garden update, and Christmas in August. I'm going to crack open one of my potato bins and see what we've got. So after the voles decimated my beans and peas, I replanted them above ground in this, it was actually a container for a deck gun on a fire truck. It's 6 feet by 12 inches and it's 18 inches deep. Filled it with soil, compost, and so on. And I replanted peas and beans in here. And I had a bunch of potatoes that I bought early summer from a local produce vendor, and a lot of them popped, so I planted them on the other half. Another remnant of my peas and beans that made it. They're actually starting to come up the poles like they're supposed to, but it took a long time because they were chewed down to the ground from the voles, which happily I can attest I no longer have that problem. Eggplants aren't really doing so well. I've picked, I think, 4 or 5. Tomatoes are getting stupid. Several varieties of cherry, plum, and beefsteak. I've already started canning sliced green tomatoes, which we absolutely love. But I'm a little scared because all the tomatoes that are on these vines, it's just going to be, I'm going to have too many. I'm going to be giving them away, guaranteed. Cucumbers, we've started making pickles. We've picked, I think I quit counting at 100 cucumbers. Cucumbers are really doing well this year. Spaghetti squash, zucchini, acorn squash, butternut squash. And I'm going to be honest, I really didn't think this garden would do nearly as well as it's doing. So my efforts were very minimal this year. Next year I'm going to expand it, build some more fence. And I made this out of some of the trash wood that I had laying around, and I bought some no-climb fence, and I put some chicken wire down at the base up, I think it's 16 inches, to keep out the rabbits. But it's doing much better than I ever imagined. It's been such a hot, dry summer. Zucchini, I don't even know how many zucchini I picked. It's got to be 20 plus. I've made zucchini chips. We've had zucchini lasagna. I've got, no exaggeration, 5 or 6 stored away. Kale, the 2 kinds of kale, I forget actually what they're called. Some kind of red, maybe a Russian red. I'm not sure. We had the ducks in this enclosure when they were little, and part of their diet was sunflower seed. So I saw a bunch of them sprouted this year, and I decided just to let them do their thing. So far I've gotten 2 heads of sunflower about the size of dinner plates, and I'm going to hang them out in the wintertime for the wild birds. But yeah, actually everything is starting to fall down. I only put in 3-foot or 40-inch, I don't remember exactly, stakes for the tomatoes, and they've surpassed those, and they're just, it's a nightmare in here, honestly. A couple of more different kinds of lettuce. Actually, I just picked a bunch of this because the wife is working on making dinner. And I found some peppermint on the property, so I potted that, and that's doing very well. It went to flower about a week and a half ago. And of course a beehive, which now lives in the garden. Actually, this is the peppermint, and this is lemon balm. Awesome for teas and things like that. peppers, a couple of different varieties of tomatoes. Yeah, it's just crazy. I'm just astounded at how well, especially the tomatoes. My God, there's so many tomatoes in here, I can't even begin to say. But yeah, in the beehive, these guys are just killing it. And obviously they're doing their job because I've got so much going on. And this is my wife's, I think this is a 60-gallon container. She wanted sweet potatoes. So other than the bug damage to the leaves, these are doing incredibly well. But yeah, the garden is just a jungle and a mess. So let's get to checking out what we've got in this 30-gallon tub for potatoes. So this is the 30-gallon tub. As I said, we bought some potatoes from a local produce vendor, and a bunch of them sprouted in the basement very early spring. So I fill this tub with compost and various other soils, nothing specific, no real anticipation, but they grew fabulously throughout the last several months. And they started in the basement, brought them out after the fear of last frost was over. I want to save this soil because they did so well growing wise. I'm not sure what's going to be in it. But they've had green leaves since probably the middle of May. So they've had 90 plus days of growing activity, and they're starting to die back. So before they get crazy, mushy, and all that stuff, I thought that I would crack it open and see what we have. It's very heavy. Oh, and I did put some sawdust in this too, to try and give them the space they need to grow. And I see that they never actually made it to the bottom, but I've done a lot of woodworking over the winter. So this sawdust here is actually, and it's warm because it's composting, I guess. But this is actually all hardwood. There's no pine at all in this. This is like cherry, oak, maple, predominantly. Oh, and you know what I did do too? I did put some hay in this. I'm kind of a fan of the root stout garden method. And that's actually what I based my garden on that I just showed y'all. But I didn't have enough hay in there. Yeah, we're definitely going to use this next year. Huh, there's actually worms in here. So we'll release him for the winter. Wow. If I was fishing this year, I'd be keeping these guys. Just too busy to even fish. So here's 4. Not bad. I think these were red and golden. 2 of my favorites. A couple of smaller ones. Some more smaller ones, but you know what? These are great, butter and garlic. When I was doing the soil fill. Alright, I guess we're done. So there is the take. Like I said, basically 0 effort. So a little close up. Not too terrible, right? Alright guys, enjoy your day and we'll talk soon. Take care now.